Sorry,
Little late
guys.
on
So
that.
we just had a bunch of sorry about that, Cass. Just a bunch of people, a bunch of the coaches asked me to record it, so
Yeah,
just wanted to give everybody a heads up on that.
thank you. All right, your sphere. What is your sphere? It's people that you already know, like, and trust, right? Those people are the people that are going to want to refer you. They're going to want to use you. They're going to want to help you succeed, and you're going to want to help them. That's what building strong relationships is about. The contacts in your phone are a good place to look for your sphere, right? And I challenge you to also think back to people, maybe your doctor, your vet, people like that maybe you weren't thinking your sphere, but they definitely are. If you can trust your pet in their lives, you can definitely trust that they would give you a referral. Would you prefer to do business with people you know, trust, and respect? Do you think your friends and acquaintances rather use a realtor they know and trust? According to NAR, 66% of sellers and 41% of buyers found their agent through a friend, neighbor, relative, or used an agent they had worked with before. Who do you know right now that is going through a life change besides all of us? And is it possible that they could use your help? They could all use our help right now, guys. There's so many different ways that we can reach out and be of service to them. I had someone call me 2 days ago asking for somebody to help with a tree. We went through a lot of windy days. Referring contractors, having a list of people that are allowed to do business right now and handing them out to your sphere. Letting them know what restaurants do curbside or what restaurants or distilleries are still serving. Have a list of that and offer it to your sphere. It costs nothing to call people you already know. We're all cutting costs right now. So why not take the steps that are free? Since you already know them, it requires less effort. So turn to page 7 in your guide and answer the following questions. Who do you know that is going through a life event that might need to move? I'm going to change that and say, who do you know that's going through a life event and could use your words? Normal conversations that used to take 30 seconds or a minute are now taking 10, 15 minutes. Be there for them. They need us. Who does not know that you're a real estate agent yet? Write it down. Think about people that you haven't put in your database. Really, really think about it. Who have you not spoken to in the last 2 weeks? More importantly, the last 3 weeks since this happened. Who do you need to reach out to and give them love? All right, JD, we can go to the next slide. So this is showing you the likelihood of a move. So when someone moves, the average American moves every 7 years, which I was really shocked to find out when I got into real estate. That seems like a lot to me, but hey, better for us, right? So there are still people that really still need to move right now. I know since I've been under three have gone under contract and it's just me. So I can't imagine. I would love to see, maybe JD, we can do this. Anybody who's put something under contract since this started, please put the number in the chat bar so we can have an idea. So turn to page 8 in your guide.
2, 2, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 4 from Dan Witt, 3 from Jamie McCade, 2 from LC, 2 from Diane, 2 from Donna. There's a lot of deals that have gone under. Rob Baxter, 3.
I love this.
Pat Gildia, 3. I mean, a lot of business going on. 4, Christopher Hennessy.
Nice.
Great job, everybody.
This is great to see. So right after,
question.
Yeah.
Cassie, you were just saying before about reaching out to your sphere and everything like that. My question would be is how many of the people that just put those numbers up have any of you gone and told your database that you put those under contract and that there's business still going on? And have you actually told that story to all the people out there? Have you put it out there via social media or any other way? Shane just said I have not. So
Yeah,
getting back to basics.
Yeah. In the beginning of the week, I challenged everybody in my coaching program to use a script that, did you know that since this has happened, we have put 5 under contract and closed 3. What is your plan moving forward after this is over? I'm not pressuring people into listing now, but I do want to help them come up with a plan so when they do want to list, I'm there for them.
Beautiful.
So over time, when somebody moves, right, they're not usually ready to move right away again. But after, well, this says 8 to 10 years. I was always told 7 years. Maybe that's changed. But they begin to look at houses. I keep people on searches that even that I've sold houses to, they always stay there. I never remove them. And it's cool how you can see them all of a sudden start looking again, right? So this is the dip. And then it goes up again. And that's when they start to look again, whether they went through a life change, a job, a divorce, just kids graduated, going to school. There's always going to be change in people's lives. And all it takes is a day. But you have to be the one who's there for them. So where I lost my place. Okay. How would you feel if your friends called you and they wanted something from you? Would you feel like they cared about you? Do you trust people that you think care about you more than the money? Do you want to talk to them and do business with them? You want to stay top of mind as your realtor of choice consistently, so when they're ready to move, you're the first call. If you don't talk to them for 8 years, why would they call you first when they're ready to move? One of our agents did a great thing like this the other day. Sarah Magretta, if you're on a phone call, it would be awesome. It would be awesome if you shared the link to that video on your page. But she did a short video of somebody saying you only call when you want to do real estate. And she's like, but I really care about you, but I really care. That's not going to happen if you're calling your people every 2-3 weeks, touching base with them. And you can do it from many ways. It doesn't have to just be a phone call. A simple text asking how their family's doing, how their kids' schooling is going. We can go to the next slide. I love this. This is one of the first things I remember when I first started. Don't fear your sphere. What's so scary about it? You love these people and they love you. They care about you. The Ford method is always great. So GD, how's your family doing?
Well, my wife's just recovering from surgery, and but otherwise most of my family's doing all right. A little stressed, but otherwise pretty good. How
Oh,
about you?
great. The surgery went really good?
Yeah, her surgery went exceptionally well, so she's recovering,
Awesome.
and that's so I'm happy about it.
I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. My family's doing good. Being a teacher and an investor and a business owner is a bit challenging at times, but I can't imagine what I'm going to be like as a person when I get out of this. It's going to be amazing. How's your job
Cool.
going?
Well, my job I can work from home, so I'm lucky in that regard. I'm just swamped really right now, like really, really,
Oh,
really
isn't it
swamped.
great? I love that.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
because the world
So
just slowed down doesn't mean your job needs to slow down, right?
no, definitely not. But I know some of my family members they're literally at home doing nothing right now, so things are tight for them.
Oh, it's a shame. Well, maybe you can give them a call and give them a little jump start, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, that's a good idea. I really should call my sister. I haven't talked to her, this past week, and it probably would be a good idea if I reached out to her. So thanks for the reminder.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem. So what are you doing during this time to keep yourself busy and maybe stuff that you wouldn't have gotten to do on a normal day-to-day life?
Well, I'll tell you what. Audible has been a huge help for me. I've been reading, listening to a lot of books, and I freely have to admit that I've been doing a little Netflix binging. So,
Nice.
there's some great documentaries they have on there. So I went through that, and other than that, I mean, mostly I've been it's actually giving me no excuse to make sure that I'm on track for my Peloton use. So I've been working out every single day, so which is good.
Oh, that's
You know?
great. Hey, shoot me that list of Netflix documentaries you've been working on too. I'd love to see them.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I gotta
definitely.
ask you, JD, what are you gonna do the first day that you can go out again? What's that one thing you can't wait to do?
Oh man, I'm gonna tell you. By the way, I'm enjoying this conversation. I love talking about
What?
myself. I'm gonna go probably take a mountain bike and find a big mountain and do some downhill racing on a nice mountain bike. So that's probably what
Oh,
I'm
that
gonna
sounds
do.
awesome.
So
That's
yeah.
great. Well, I heard that some of the parks are still open, so maybe you'll actually get the time to do that now. That would be great.
Well, my wife's from her surgery. She's a high risk, for the
Oh,
virus and everything
okay.
like that. So
Yeah.
I won't even risk it, So
Okay.
I don't want to inadvertently bump into somebody or crash into somebody because knowing me, I'll definitely probably crash into somebody. So
Well, hey, JD, I also wanted to let you know if you need anything at all during this time, I know it can be trying, whether it's a contractor, a plumber, an electrician, anything like that. I have a great list of people that I highly recommend. And also, I know we're all tightening our belts right now and
oh
finances can
yeah,
get kind of scary. So I have a resource with homeowners insurance, and I would love to have them give you a call, see if they can save you, $600 a year. Would that be okay with you?
you know what that would be because we're definitely going to be we have already started tightening our places here and there. So yeah, I'll be interested in getting some information on that. Yeah,
Awesome, great. Well, thank you so much for taking my call. And again, if you need anything at all, please reach out.
awesome. All right, hey, thanks.
Thank you
You
so
too.
much.
Don't if you need anything, let me know.
All right, thanks.
You got it.
It's that easy. I mean, who's bored? Who's been sitting home and feels like, well, no, nobody's bored. We have so many Zoom videos going on. But why not? Make the phone calls. Get back in touch with the people you care about. Um, does anybody have any fears or hesitations about calling your sphere right now? If you do, throw them in the box. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to break into groups. You're automatically going to be put into a room. JD is going to break you in. Hopefully you'll be in teams of 2 or 3. I think we're going to break up into about 50 different groups. And what we're going to do is practice the Ford script. You'll only be in the breakouts for about 5 minutes. And after that, we'll take a short break. And then
Cassie,
we'll
I'm sorry. Can you remind me how many people in a room?
we could do 3 people in a room.
Okay.
This is really cool, guys. If you've never experienced it, you're going to get beamed into a room with 2 other people.
It is pretty cool. The first time it happened to me, I was like,
you'll be asked, your screen will be asked to join and just click on join.
So everybody will be in a room with 2 to 3 people. So you will get how much time?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. All right. So
And
you'll
then
get a
afterwards,
timer
we'll
when
take a
we
10-minute break. Yep, I have a
when
timer
we
ready.
all right, and when we click on it, you'll see a timer come up on the screen that'll bring you guys back automatically to us. All right.
Okay. Join.
Cassie, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, so you stayed in as the co-host, which is cool. So if you can, so you can't see joining any of the rooms or anything like that?
Yeah, I saw it. I just didn't click on it.
Okay.
So it looks like Diane,
You might be,
Richard, and James and George are in a group. So I am in a group. Can you somehow remove me?
where do you see that? Assign group 3. Some people are not assigned. Move to
Oh, that's why.
not
Okay.
joined.
Yeah, Susan, Kathleen, Diane, and George.
For some reason, people they didn't join. I don't know why.
Okay, you guys, Diane, can you hear me, Diane? Diane Ormsby? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Did you not get offered to join a group? And Susan Murphy, Brendan, Diane, and George.
Okay, I had to step away. I had a call.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm
so you
sorry.
say they have to accept it.
yeah, they
That's
have
why.
to accept it. And Megan Ross, Melissa, there's actually a good amount. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. Probably about 12 that haven't joined.
It's because they haven't accepted it.
Yeah.
Move to group room 16. All right. So there's a lot of people. Galligan, move to 16. There we go. I just put Galligan with somebody else. I'm looking for
Okay.
individuals. Okay, Danielle Hurry. Hello, come on. Let me move her. Groups of 3, groups of 3, groups of 3. Kelly Houston not joined. Everybody except for one person and unassigned. Unassigned, Alicia. 1. Brenda Galligan. 2.
I think I have
5.
16 that aren't.
5. And I'm just looking at the unassigned here. Megan Ross. Just trying to put them in, let's see, room 6. Megan Ross in room 6. There we go. I didn't have anyone in my group when I went there. Some people didn't join the groups. We're merging people right now. Daniel Hury, group 1. Group 5. Group 5. Who needs a group? Group 16.
There's only 15 seconds remaining.
All right. Next time we have to tell them to accept it.
Yeah.
You wanted you to just end it?
No, it's 30, well, 34. It'll go off. I don't know what it's going to sound like when it goes off.
Oh, you're sharing your screen right now, by the way.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have you still need me to use the PowerPoint?
Yeah, I can't find mine. It just disappeared. I had everything set up and then gone.
Room 5. Assigned to room 5. What's that?
That was the timer.
All right. So everybody's going to be coming back.
Are we supposed to be back on the main session?
Yep.
Okay, like I was talking.
Me too. I don't know how I got back here.
All right. All right, Cass, everybody's back.
All right, I had to problem solve with my child for a minute. How did that
Cool.
go for everybody? Too short for 3, need another 2 minutes. Okay, so for the next one, we'll definitely do it longer. Sorry we got
So-
caught off. Thanks so much for sharing.
And just as a little side note, this is new for everybody. So this is the first time that I ran a breakout with this many people. I know you have to join it, and so some people you might have got caught by yourself because some of the people that were automatically put into your room didn't click on the join, and so that you were there. Just be patient. We'll see that, and we'll merge you in with other rooms. So in the future, if that happens. All right.
Yeah,
Can
so
I-
next time we will definitely take a note to make it longer. So
Can
I,
I quick share from my
Yeah.
group? So
Mhm.
I got to share with Nadine, and she's only in real estate 8 months. She's already got a pending an offer. She's got business happening. She just loves to talk, and she just is very relatable to people. She uses the Ford very effectively. She's just really, it's all about them. Alicia was also
Yes.
saying that. It's all about them. It's all about them. It's all about them, how they are. And then she has 12 referrals out to Safeguard as well. So kudos. It's all about connecting. And I just had to share that because for everyone who's not, make it about them. Pay attention to what's happening, helping your neighbors. And this is what it's all about. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, everybody loves to talk about themselves and tell people what's going on in their lives. So be that person for them. Nadine, awesome job, by the way. Nadine's in Pocono, so I get to know her personally. And yeah, she is a rock star for sure. So when you're making calls during Ignite, it should be your sphere of influence first, and then reach out to others. But right now, it should be about your sphere. JD, you can go ahead and share the slide again. So now that you're comfortable with your sphere, it's time to start familiarizing yourself with some tools you'll need to maintain your database and launch your career. We'll go over how to use these, use command contents for Ignite in the toolkit. By the end of the session, you will know how to enter a contact into command if you don't already, and you'll be familiar with all the resources available in the Ignite toolbox. This is the perfect time to get into DocuSign and get into Command and get into Connect and Kelly and really use it at a high level. There is no better time. This is it. So I hope in 30 days you don't look back and say, I should have done it then. Make the right choice. It's all about making choices right now, and I really hope you make the right one with this. Can we do in the chat box, just for the future, if people don't know how to enter a contact into command, please put it in the chat box now. And let's see how many. Oh, it wasn't Pocono Nadine, it was another Nadine. Well, you're both rock stars. So it looks like everybody knows how to enter a contact, which is great because then we'll save some time. It is 10:28. Okay. That's great, guys. Awesome. So we're going to go to the next slide. So this is the vision for Keller Williams Technology. We all know that Gary says we're a tech company and we're ahead of the game. We're going to stay ahead of the game. The vision of Keller Williams is to be the real estate company of choice for agents and their customers. One of the ways that Keller Williams is doing that is by making everything easier for both the agent and for your clients too through tech. Who already uses a cloud product? I'm assuming all 130 of you already have a cloud of some sort. If you don't, please let us know. The purpose of the cloud is to make it easy to get to store your information across multiple systems or devices. A cloud makes your experience easy and seamless no matter what you're trying to do. Keller Cloud connects all the tools you need to manage your contacts in your database, track where you are in each deal, remind you what to do, and even allows you to easily communicate to your clients. This is a virtual assistant, basically. It's doing everything for you. You just need to put everything in. So Sandra, Rita, Chris, Laura, you do not have a cloud, or you do not know how to do a contact, enter a contact. Okay, so the two main tools are Command, which is like a home page for everybody's agent's business, and then the KW app that consumers can use to search for listings or get information about the deal that they're doing with a KW agent. Command also allows you to see homes, or to see homes your customers are interested in on the KW app, so you have more insight on what they want. Command also be like having an assistant in your pocket, reminding you of things you need to do and storing all the contacts and allowing you to make notes about your conversations. I know that when I put all of my contacts into Command, it was like a smack in the face. I had no idea I had as many contacts as I did, and it made me realize I could make so much more money than I was. So it's a really great thing. Let's see some of these. Okay,
So I think there's some confusion over the cloud and what is the cloud, and
Okay.
that aspect. That's what a lot of the questions seem to be around.
Okay, so to make it pretty basic is if you put a contact in your phone or if you put a contact in your email, it will feed, and it can feed all into your database. It took my contacts from my email, my phone, my computer, my laptop, and it put them all into one spot for me and made me realize how many I had. So that's what a cloud does. It links it between all of your computers, all of your phones, everything. I hope that explains it some more. Later on, there's a link that'll show you more about it later on in the program. So we can go to the next slide. So Command is an integrated end-to-end Keller Cloud platform that contains business critical applets to running and growing your business. It is a tool that will help you manage your database, cultivate your connections, and take leads from contract to close. So when you sign into Command, you will see how much money is in your potential pipeline, how many people are in the cultivate stage, and how many people are in the under contract stage. It really does everything for you. In Spark, we're going to focus on entering the contacts into Command using smart plans to engage those contacts into touch campaigns. You'll learn more about these plans in lead generation learning module. And throughout the next 13 classes, you're going to learn more and more about this. I also encourage you to contact your market center and have them give you the training that you need to do this. Katie Jo is amazing at doing this and has a lot of YouTube channels where you can find out how to do this also. Unfortunately, we won't have enough time to walk through everything, but you definitely have that in your market center. So logging into Command. JD, are you able to share that, your webpage, and show them how to log into Command?
Sure, if you'd like me to do that, I'm happy to.
Please. You're much faster than I am.
All right. So basically, if you go to Command, let me just log out real quick and I'll just log back
It's
in.
blurry.
All right. How's that? Is that a little bit better for you?
It's pretty blurry. I don't know if it's because it's so big.
Let's see. Where's the chat here?
It looks fine to us.
Oh, it
Okay.
does.
So it might be
Just
just
on my-
a slight lag on some of yours. All right. So what we have right here is obviously, console.command.kw.com. Everybody knows how to log into my KW. So log in, and Cassie, you just want me to log in and show logging
Yep.
in?
Just log in, and then we're gonna go to the contact and
Past
enter,
dues. All right.
and then we're gonna enter a contact.
All right. So obviously top right, you'll see here are the contacts. I have actually 5,031 contacts. So what you want to do, simple contact, click on add contact, put in the name. So JD Test, let's say is the last name, JD Test at gmail.com. Phone number 610-555-1212. If you have a team, are you the owner? If you have a team, you'll be able to, do that. Now this is important here. Mark as a lead. If that person's a lead, it'll immediately mark that person, and you can do a search and pull that person up much more quickly. I can also add them to an opportunity, add them to my sales pipeline. Tag is this person. Now I'm a little insane, so please don't take it. But I have like hundreds of tags. But let's say this is somebody I know that I like. This is in my A group, an advocate. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. And if let me just hit A again there. A, good. And then I'm gonna do more information. Scroll down. I'm gonna add, what's their preferred method of contact? Well, this is JD likes being texted. I can add more names and phone numbers and emails. What's the address? I'll just put my address, or actually I'll just do 2901 Emmerich Boulevard. Oh, look at that. It searches the address with Google. Mailing address, same as mailing address right there if I want that. And then I can add in social profiles right here. If I want to put more information, birth date, a description of the person, legal name, birth date, home anniversary. Now relationships, just real quick, relationships, it only works if you have their spouse in here or their partner, somebody connected, a father, mother, son, daughter, any of these people. So what you would do is you would search somebody, let's say Abel Anderson. So let's say Abel Anderson is this person's cousin, let's say. So you could put cousin like that because Abel's already in the system. Okay, and then those two will be connected. What you'll find is that if you put spouses in there, when you create an opportunity, that other person's automatically pulled into that opportunity and is an option there for you. So I could add more relationships if I wanted to. All right, I'm just going to delete that one because this is fictitious and I don't want to add a real contact in there. Work address, and the sales pipeline, of course, is about opportunities. Are they connected? Did you capture them? Did you connect? And lead source, where you got the lead source from, and any other kind of custom things like websites, hobbies that you can create these yourself. Once you go and hit create, you've created that, and now JD Test should be in there. Let's see, everything. There he is, right there he is. And I haven't visited him yet, and I haven't contacted him yet. So that's how you enter contact.
Thank you. So this is the time that we want to get organized. If you haven't been organized, I don't care if you've been in the business for 2 months or 10 years. If you're not organized, let's get there. This is making it so much easier for us to have our entire business and our entire future business right at our fingertips. It's amazing. It's fantastic what it does. So we start with our sphere because people would rather do business with people they know. We've already discussed this. They want to work with people they like and they trust and they know. We already have permission to have two-way conversations with these people also. So when it comes to the do not call list, it's not as much as an issue. So conversation with people in our first year in real estate will most likely originate from your sphere and influence and either directly cause referrals. And you're going to continue that throughout your real estate career, your entire real estate career. Why do we put our contacts into commands? So let's talk about this for a little bit. If somebody wants to be unmuted, just put it into the chat box and JD will unmute you.
Can you repeat the question, Cass?
Yeah, why are we using command? Why do we put our contacts into command?
Well, I know why.
I think that this is Paul, if I can jump in.
Hey, Paul.
The questions about the cloud were very relevant. I mean, we have our own cloud now, the Keller Cloud. We're no longer entering our data and our clients' information into Commissions Inc. or Boomtown or other CRMs that are not owned by us, and giving away that information. So the uniqueness of the cloud allows us to engage with people. We were talking this morning in one of our calls about the fact that, the number one thing we need to do right now is learn how to do this business virtually before the markets reopen. And if we're not actually taking our buyers and sellers through a virtual process of how to list their home, a virtual process of how to, help our buyers search for homes, then we're not keeping up with our competition. We have the best possible CRM and platform and cloud on the planet in real estate right now. And so we have a real opportunity to, for instance, find a buyer, meet a buyer, put them into command, send them the monthly neighborhood nurture, which everybody should be doing, the monthly neighborhood nurture, and then potentially setting up a second contact where we text them our app, our consumer app, in a couple of days, and we begin to engage with them virtually through Keller Command, through the consumer app and through the monthly neighborhood nurture. We're not going to get any more one-on-one engagement virtually than using any other tool, because no other tool allows us the engagement potential that this does. Does that make sense?
It's perfectly said.
Okay, I'll leave it at that.
Thank you. It was perfect. Now is the time. We have the opportunity, so make the right choice with getting to know it the best you absolutely can. There's a couple of comments on here I'll read out for you guys. We enter our contacts, making them readily available to manually and or systematically follow up and take through the opportunity of buying and selling a home. It also enables us to develop high-level campaigns and social media products and brand ourselves and our listings. Love it.
Cassie, can I talk real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the things that's really important, and I really didn't, I knew it from the beginning, but I guess I really didn't dive into it, is that if I add apply and work daily and it's organized and cleaned up and I'm using it effectively, it not only does it give me my tasks to remind me who I need to text and who I need to call because I set that up and I organize that, but it also allows me to manage all my transactions, know who's in my pipeline. I can see who I'm nurturing all the time, so I don't have to go back to, oh, did I talk to this person or did I talk to that person? It's all right there. And then it's also putting it into the transaction. If everybody's utilizing it effectively with the checklists, I can go to my checklist that I've customized and see exactly where I am in the actual transaction. So if I have if I'm looking for a document and I don't want to follow up in my like maybe the title commitment, I have that on my checklist. If I check it off and I'm diligent every day about adding, applying, and working it, I know I don't have to go sort through a ton of emails to find it. Not only that, but it's integrated with my email. So if I click on somebody that I was talking with, I can see what emails I sent them and pull it up right in Gmail. On another note, it also tells me exactly what my potential is and what I am going to make this year, what my potential for the year is, where I'm at, and in what stage. So I think that if everybody were to truly take the time to get acquainted with the system, it's almost like it has, just like Paul said, it has so many advantages, and all it really does is take the time to learn it right now, because once I cleaned up my contacts, it was so much easier to use and contact people.
Great. Thanks, Amy. All right, guys, we're going to take a 10-minute break. Is 10 minutes seem long enough for everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good? Good. All right, great. So I'm going to put a timer on the screen. When you hear the applause, that means we're coming back.
Okay.
Where's the mood music? We need some break music.
Well, Paul, while people are on a break, I'm just gonna chit chat with you. If you don't mind, that was, basically a combination. I was gonna say a combination of what Amy said and what you said, Paul, was really good. I think, like, you were talking about the technical aspect and she was talking about the practical. And that's why this is so important, to go over this. This is perfect time for people to be drilling down into those things. So I think it's great. I think it's a great opportunity to do that. Did you get the music, Cass? I heard the music.
Definitely did not figure that one out.
I was just gonna chit chat until
Yeah. No, it's and I don't, envy, this is when you're not teaching in front of a class, and you got 140 people in the room, crazy, what goes through your head, I imagine. So I applaud you both for getting through this first one. I almost think it, I love it, when you see Jay Papasan and Gary Keller play off each other, that kind of a conversation presenting something is, I don't know. You see Matt Green and Mark King do it too, with something that they do. That might be something, and I'm happy to chime in from time to time. I'm so curious about this content that I'm obviously, what's the term? I'm participating in the class, but I'm actually, sitting in the back of the room, just kind of looking at, the interaction and the material itself. So, anyway.
Well, yeah. I think it says a lot, as someone, with your experience and where you're at in the business, to come to a fundamental class. And I think a lot of times people forget how important the fundamentals are, that they don't go away. The reason they're the fundamentals is because they're the fundamentals. They never go away. And there's never a time when you don't want to expose yourself to those fundamentals. And I think it says a lot to be able to bring that depth of knowledge. I mean, I've taught, martial art my life, and I see people who are advanced and people who are new, and the only difference is the state of the relaxation, the depth of the knowledge. It's the same. They're doing the same thing that a brand new person is walking off the street. You're doing the same thing that a person who's just got their license, yet, you're just doing it at a much higher level, but it's still the same thing. So,
it's exactly the same thing. I mean, I'm still, we're still trying to get through 15 contacts a day at this point. Not making 15 contacts, we're not growing our business. We're not doing what we need to do. If we're not following up on leads, putting the next step, the next task into, command, then we're not running our business the way it should be run. So.
Can I just?
Sorry, Cassie, I think I hijacked your thing.
No, I'm enjoying
I
listening
hijacked the
to
time
you guys,
off.
because, Paul, I really don't know you that well, so I'm enjoying listening to you. And I thank you very much for putting your input in there.
Sure, absolutely.
You obviously use it at a high level, and I think it's great that you put it in there.
Yep, happy to do it. Happy to do it. So.
Usti, you were going to say something.
Can I try some music?
Go for it.
Yeah.
There we go. Tony Robbins.
Can you hear it?
I can hear it. Yeah, you just turned it down though.
No, I turned it off. I'm
okay.
I'm testing it because I have a QL event, and I want to play some music to like, you know, to get everybody up every
Oh,
like every 10 minutes, just to get everybody up, because it's just moving them around. So I have Spotify, so I wasn't sure, you know, if you can hear it.
so you can get everybody moved back from their computer, and they can jump around, and you can see them jumping around on the screen.
How loud
Move
How
session.
loud is it?
It's
Is
not
it-
that loud.
Is it not loud?
I was hearing it just fine before, but it seems like you're turning it off and on. So I don't know if you are.
I am. Yeah, I only just turned it on for a little bit, just to see what it sounds like.
I think it's really what is, you know, you just have everybody turn up their volume on their computer, you know, and so I think that's really, you play it, and it probably comes through on one level, unless you're turning your internal speaker up. If you connect when you're sharing, when you actually manually share, like what I'm doing and what Cassie's doing, there's little 2 buttons on the bottom left of the share screen that says share sound with computer. And if you click on that, that's when you open up the when you play something on your computer, like the Gary Keller video that played earlier, that sound will go through Zoom as opposed to it picking up the speaker, the external speaker on the computer. So if
Okay.
you turn up the volume on your speaker, it will, I would assume it would increase through Zoom.
Yeah, I know. I thought Amanda said if you have music, just play it.
You probably can. Your external speaker that you're talking on right now will pick it up.
I see.
Hey, Cass, what time are we at?
We are at 3 minutes and 50, just under 4 minutes. The toolbox, trying to find the easiest way to show them that, but I don't think that's gonna work out.
What toolbox?
So there's the Ignite toolkit, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
can click on it and it downloads to your computer, but it's so many files that I don't think I'm going to be able to actually
I can
show
show
them
it.
that.
If you want, I
Well,
can share my.
they should have a copy of it in their packet.
Yep.
So maybe just showing them how to get to it on the participant resources.
The video
You
that
know-
I sent out there, I mean, if you want, I can walk through it really quick, but the video I sent out last night had it
I
in it.
wouldn't worry about it.
I'm sorry?
So you sent it to them already then?
Yeah, I shot a video where you could get the manual, but I also mentioned the toolkit as well.
Oh, okay, perfect. So we don't need to we can skip that part. Okay, I'll be right back.
I have a question for you, JD.
Sure, Joe. What's up?
If I'm putting my contacts in, and as I contact them, I'm marking down, that I texted them or called them or whatever, and putting a little note in there. How do I do, in command? How do I remind myself to call them in 3 weeks or whatever? How?
There's
that
a couple of
task?
ways. I mean, first of all, there's a couple of ways. It depends upon your system. I mean, it's a simple matter of just putting it into a task. Just saying, hey, here's I put a note in there, boom, boom, boom. Set a task up immediately, put a date on it, and call them, and that will come up in your task reminder
Yeah. Okay.
immediately.
That's what I thought.
That's a simple way. The other way is some people have the DTD2, which is calling your all of your closest referral database.
Yeah. I'm doing
That's a
that
thing.
too. I'm doing that
Yeah.
too. Okay. Yeah, I'm putting.
So,
I'm doing that. All right. Great.
yeah, so you can do that, and and that way, like if you call somebody and you're going to call them once every 2 months, you don't necessarily have to leave a note, because all you're going to
Right.
have is message
true. Yeah.
you just know that this group I'm going to call, and any pertinent information you want to leave there. that type of thing. Now you can also just leave an LVM or spoke to kind of thing. I used to abbreviate everything in my database
Okay.
all the time. That's the way I did it. So
Perfect. Thank you.
you got it. "52 seconds. Like 10 minutes went by that fast.
It did. That went really fast.
It's Paul's fault.
Time flies when you're quarantined.
Yeah, right. We've got to make up T-shirts. You know,
Yeah,
conquer the shift. Time flies when you're quarantined.
yeah, right. Hey, we should do that the day we can go back in the office.
Oh,
That'd
That's
be
a
a
good
good
idea.
idea. If we can just send the email out and everybody would wear shirts. I think that'd be fun.
I think that would be.
That we all made it through. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Made it through the great quarantine of 2020.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Oop.
I'm in Montgomeryville, so I'll have Jen email all our guys in Montgomeryville. And if everybody
go.
kind of goes down, I think that will be fun. Because it is not fun being quarantined. It's like you're afraid to walk outside that something might go.
There you go.
So.
All right,
yeah.
Cass,
All right.
we're back. I got you up on the screen, so tell me where you want me to go.
Okay, so we're going to go to the next slide. Unless if we have any questions about commands right now with just entering a contact and why it's so important. Okay, so you can go to the next one.
You got it.
All right, everybody has access to your Ignite toolkit. It has a lot of resources in there for you. All you have to do is go to KW, then go to the education, click on Ignite 2.0, scroll to the bottom. I hear an echo. Is that me or?
Yep, that's you. You're the only person that is unmuted aside from myself.
Okay. Go down to the bottom and it'll be participant resources and it will be at the top of the toolkit. If you need help with it, just send it in the chat bar and we'll help you out with that. You can go to the next one. All right. Prepare for success. This section is learning module. We'll go over what you can expect to learn in Spark, review the daily 10-4, and help you develop a plan for how to spend your time outside of Ignite to build a successful real estate business. Does everybody know what the daily 10-4 is? Back to basics, guys. So it is 10 contacts, 10 into your database, 10 previews, and 10 notes. Previews may be a little bit difficult right now. My response to that is be a detective with MLS. Know every single detail. So you have conversations about what's going on in the market. You can. You can go to the next slide, JD. So the Spark Learning modules, there is a lot in here, and this is the content we'll be covering throughout this whole thing. Ignite consists of learning modules and daily success habits. The first 2 weeks of Ignite are called Spark because of the modules to spark a successful real estate career or bringing it back to basics and re-sparking it.
Hey, Cass, I'm gonna stop you just 1 second. I had a question. I asked Omar asked if you could repeat the 10-4 and go through that again. If you could rewind
Sure.
just slightly.
So the daily 10-4 are 10 contacts, 10 to your database, 10 previews, and 10 notes, handwritten notes. So the one that is going to be a little challenging right now is the 10 previews, and my response to that is to know your database. know, or I'm sorry, know your MLS, know all the details about it, really, really get a good grip on what's out there and what it looks like right now. So for each module, you can expect to learn the fuel your career. This module will provide an overview of Spark that includes a general module and be using these tools that you'll need. Lead generation module, understand scripts, set up your database and feed it, set goals that matter, deliver your value proposition, find and win the buyer, working with sellers, a day in the life of a real estate agent, and when each module will be offered, and ask participants, see, oh, no, that's not it.
Hey, Cass, I'm just going to pause you real quick. You know, a couple of people are reporting in that there's a bad echo. So is there, just wanted to see, and it was just a little bit ago, if you could just give us some feedback, everybody, if you're still getting an echo, please let me know. And if that continues, what we'll do, Omar's saying it, Pauline's saying yes, yes, yes. So the only thing I can think of, Cass, is if you have the earbuds or head thing to plug into your laptop, or if not, then maybe leave the meeting and then come right back in, and you can. It might resync it. Sounds like someone is muted. Everybody is muted except for me and Cassie. So there should be no feedback.
Okay, so let me jump out and then I'll jump back in.
Okay, just so everybody take a 1 minute. But you don't usually see the host leave a presentation that often. All right, Cassie. All right, let's see. How about this? Usha, great idea. So here's a question. Let's see. What do you think? I'm just putting a new headset on my computer here.
All right, so let's see. Can everybody hear me okay? Just say yes. Okay, thanks, Pauline. All right, someone said my earbuds were giving a static, so I wanted to change it to a different headset. So here's a quick question. Daily 10-4. Daily 10-4 is a fundamental principle in real estate, and Gary Keller goes over this. And Cassie just texted me. She's her internet disconnected, and she's trying to get back on right now. So clearly she was having some technical issues. So let's talk about the daily 10-4. Paul, that you were mentioning that you're doing 15 contacts a day. There are agents that do what I call a daily 24. There are people like Lance Loken that do a daily 44. What is that? It's 40 contacts a day. Not too long ago, I asked Desiree Carroll, I think it was last week, we were in a meeting, and I said, what are your agents doing on your team right now in this crisis that's going on? She said, literally, they're lead generating 4 hours a day and then taking some education in the afternoon. I said, are some of your agents parents? Do they have to teach their kids? And let me get my video back on here, sorry. And she said, yeah. She says, well, what they're doing is she's allowing them to do an hour here, an hour of lead generation, working with their kids, teaching them English, science, whatever, and then coming back an hour. So how important is it, but feel free, in fact, Joe, let me ask you, Joe, since I see you on my screen here, Mr. McGavin, how important is it to be consistent with your lead generation in a time block, or spacing it out over the day for the first one, which is doing 10 contacts a day? How important is that?
Well, you've just got to be consistent in whatever it is that you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole key.
Okay. So let's go on to the next.
I think that it's different for, how you're doing those things is going to be different for somebody who has been doing this a long time and has a big client base, and somebody who is just starting out. So you've got to look at,
let me ask you that. Let me ask you that. Someone set realistic goals. Thank you, Pauline. How important is it to do 5 contacts a day, or even 2 contacts a day for somebody who's brand new, who might be fearful of it? Do you think that you would still see results with 2 to 5 contacts a day?
You're going to see some results. I mean, the point is that the hardest part about doing the lead generation and the contacts is that first call. That's the hardest part. And once you get over that, you can look at somebody that hasn't done anything in years, and you can still go and make a contact. I mean, Raina on my team has been going through a huge database and she called somebody that hadn't been contacted in 2 years, and she sold them a house. So it's like, there's people out there, and there's people out there that are going to do business.
Okay. So I'll open this up to everybody in the sense of the Daily 10-4. Moving on to that, now you've made these contacts. Now you want to enter them into your database. How crucial was it for somebody, as an example? If somebody could give me an example, when you first started, could have been 20 years ago, could have been last week. How crucial was it when you started entering people into a database? Why is that so important for you as a real estate agent?
JD, it's Jim Galligan. Because lead follow-up is just as critical as lead generation. What good is lead generation if there's no lead follow-up? And that's where most realtors fall down. Even successful realtors don't follow up enough. So having a database, having campaigns, having reminders built in. So when you're busy, you can still find the time to lead gen those most important touches. That's critical now, more so now, and wrapping your arms around that pipeline of leads. So if you don't have a database, how can you follow up?
So let me ask you something, Jim. How many people in your database, in your team's database? I mean, I know you've got a big one, but how many people?
In our Met database, it's about 1,800. Okay. Overall database is about 4,800, somewhere in there.
All right. So in the last 3 weeks, how often have those people been contacted? Now, and in what different ways also? How many times and in what different ways?
So the easiest and most effective way was last week. I went through my phone, 3,684 contacts, and I broke it down into three days worth of just sending out a real simple text, checking on them, seeing how they're doing, seeing if they need anything. And I engaged with over 300 conversations last week just through that. And that generated 30 leads, future leads, from just saying, how are you? And that was something we could do while we're net binging a documentary.
And that's the power. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I didn't have to sit there and try to make 300 dials. I could do that also just while I'm watching a documentary on Netflix. It's something, just having a strategy, breaking it down. So that's something that if you maybe didn't connect with somebody on the phone, and it was amazing how many people I've left messages for and can't connect voice to voice, were going back and forth with me on the text messaging. So it's using different formats, but if you don't have a database, and if you don't start with as simple as the people already in your phone, you're never going to be able to really have the maximization of what your lead gen efforts are trying to do.
So how powerful is that? The first 2 steps, basic fundamentals, contact 10 people a day, and obviously you crushed that last week. And then how, and then following up, okay, or I should say putting people into a database. How valuable has it been in your business to have a database, which is all, let's be honest, it's just a list of people.
It's been our business.
Right.
It's been the lifeblood of our business through the different ups and downs of our career. So
How important is it
it's-
now? I mean, Jim, how important is it now to have that database now, compared to any time that you've been in your entire career? How important is it now to have that database?
It's the lifeblood of our business, but also from just a calming and a confidence level, knowing that we've already been diligent with working a database, knowing that our database has been there consistently through the year after year, allows me to just know that at the end of this, if we just do these efforts now, our database is going to be that much stronger than it was before. And not only is it going to pull us through, we're going to be in a position to thrive when we're finally let loose again. And I think everybody on this call is going to be more enthusiastic and skip into the office when we're able to finally be let loose in the wild again.
So here's the third one in the daily 10-4, which is in the daily 10-4, which is the fundamental principle. It's send 10 note cards out a week. Now, obviously, in this market, in this crisis that we're going on, you might not be able to, you might not want to mail things, or maybe you don't have any stamps and you're not going to go out and get stamps or something like that. How would you convert that? Because we also have to think outside the box.
Sure.
What are you doing aside from calling and texting? How are you reaching out to your sphere? You're doing like how many contacts a day?
When Cassie was going through the 10-4s, what I wrote under next to previews was knowing the market stats and the data. But also next to handwritten notes, I wrote a personal email. So, maybe, for those people, if you can't send a note, send out a personal email to that person that you want and that you would have sent the note card to, and not just make it a blanket, we're there for you email. Make it a little bit more personal and go into the forward conversation. That's what I just jotted down as a simple, easy thing that we could do right now.
Now, somebody did ask, is the 10-4 a weekly? And yes, it is. It's basically a weekly thing, 5 days a week. Now you can space it over 7 days if you want, but it's typically 5 days a week, on weekly. So Cassie, hey, Cassie's back, everybody, So,
Jim, I'd like to ask you, or anybody, are you doing video check-ins instead of text or email? Is anybody doing that?
That I haven't.
Okay.
I've done a lot of FaceTiming actually over the last 2 weeks.
Jill is. Jill, would you mind talking to us about that? What programs you use and how it's going for you?
Jill.
There you are.
There you go.
We have used, people with Androids needs the Google Duo. And we've used, what is the one, the House Party? Is that what you mean? Like doing virtual calls and things like that?
Virtual calls, yeah.
Lots of Zoom.
What did you say?
Lots of Zoom calls also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just what I'm trying to do is the different groups that I have in my sphere, Bunko, book club, people that I know from trips. I'm trying to encourage everybody to get on these calls and stay connected. And a lot of times that's how I'm getting some leads. Like somebody will say, yeah, I want to look for a pool when we get out of this. So then after the call, I contact her separately or whatever. So it's a good way to keep in contact, and some people just naturally tell you things that, they might not say on a one-to-one call as opposed to a group call.
Yeah, I think that's great when you said that people are looking for a pool, because when you're spending 24 hours a day in your home, you're going to realize that you may not like certain things, or maybe your life would be a lot easier or better if you had something else. And I think that this is really going to make the market go boom afterwards. I know some other agents are using things like TikTok and doing short videos and throwing them out there. Some of them are really, really funny, which I know grabs a huge audience. But I want you guys to think about how many different things you have at your fingertips that you can use to touch people. It's like Jim said, text, email, phone calls, really use it all. Get good at it. Get great at it.
Cassie, can I say something before you start back up?
Yeah.
I think all the highly experienced agents on this call, Jim, Usha, I'm just looking at my screen right here that I see right here. Paul, Joe, I think you all would agree. And I think really agents, and you said this, Cassie, that you think this market is going to explode after we get out of here, out of this crisis. Agents create the market. We create the market. And the way we create the market is by reaching out to people and communicating with people on a daily basis. If you sit there and go, oh, the market's bad, well, yes, the market's going to be bad. But if you are actually out there pounding the pavement, so to speak, by picking up the phone right now and making calls, you're going to have a huge business. And don't fool yourself. During the Great Depression, one of the worst real estate crises in U.S. history, in 2007, one of the worst real estate crises in U.S. history, more real estate transacted during those two times than any other time in America's history. So this is a phenomenal time, because when we come out, no matter what the economy is like, a coach down in Florida said to me the other day, oh my God, we could have 30% unemployment. I said, yeah, but 70% will be employed. I said, which group do you want to be in? You have a choice. And this is what's so beautiful about this industry and this profession, is you have a choice. So I just wanted to throw that out there. We as agents create the market, and we have that opportunity in our field. So I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
I don't know what everybody else's thoughts are on this, but this is temporary. This is not something that was forced by the economy. This was forced by a sickness. People are going to get their jobs back. People are just on hold. People are still going to want to move. They're still going to want to rent. They're still going to be do all that. Usha stated that in 2009, 4.8 million homes still sold. That's really, if you really think about it, that's pretty impressive. Airbnbs will be interesting, Franco said.
Cass, can I jump in here a minute?
Absolutely.
So what I've been talking about, and I had been saying that people are cooped up in their houses. So they are seeing, and in apartments, and they are seeing how small that the space that they're living in actually is.
Or how big.
I've been saying this mentally, and then my son's a contractor. And I said, if they're not going to buy a house, they're looking at everything that's possibly wrong in their house right now. And I actually talked to someone last night and said, oh, my house is just too small for all of us. And I think it's going to be crazy. This is
had you not made that call, you would know. Yeah.
Be in line for that to happen.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Cass, do you want me to start it up again?
Yeah, go to Make the Most of Spark. It has a picture of an open house. So
All right.
past that.
I'm just trying to, there we go. Which one?
Go that next.
There we go.
Okay. Because we already went over why your database is so important and what the daily 10 for. Every day you're making those 10 contacts and putting them into your database and becoming a detective with the market, really becoming an expert with that, and then mailing out your notes or doing videos or anything like that, emails. So for the rest of the day, we're going to do some role playing, some script practicing. But before that, I want to really get into what are things that you can master right now. Make a list of, but when you get out of here, what's your end game? What do you want to be an expert at? What are you really going to focus on to make yourself a better agent? JD, you can go to the next slide. And pass that one. So the goal of our time together is to help you think, feel, act, and use what you've learned to ignite your passion and help you achieve your big why. So I want you to write down your ahas for each of these categories or your thoughts. Write them in your chat box. If you want to talk, go ahead. We all look forward to hearing from you. So these 4 categories, to write it down. How has your thinking changed? Maybe when you got on this call, you're like, well, it's impossible to do real estate business right now, or the market's not going to support it. What has changed in that? What do you feel differently about? What was meaningful to you today? How will your behaviors be different going forward? What action will you take going forward? What tools, models, or systems will you definitely use? How will they make you accountable?
One of the ahas came through: don't miss your future business, working on your current business. My thinking from Pauline, my thinking changed in that realizing change bringing moves, and that means housing is still very alive. Think out of the box. Take the time to master something, from Pat.
Hey, Pat, what are you going to master?
Let me hit.
Social media.
There we go. Step outside your comfort zone, from Sandra. Use the Ford more effectively. That's good.
Yes, I love the Ford. The Ford grounds me. I don't know about you guys, but if I'm lost and maybe feeling like a little overwhelmed, I bring it right back down to the Ford, and you can never go wrong.
The indomitable Usha Patel says, master my emotions, meaning and self-mastery of time.
Love it.
We'll use smart plans, from Pauline. And Erica, work your database. This is still being ready, you know, it's still out there and ready to be had.
Still lead generate.
I've gone back to my all my open houses, all the information I have on those people. I've been calling them, put them in my database, and I'm getting some good feedback. I like their kids are now looking for a house. Cousins, aunts. That was one of my brainstormers.
That's awesome. Kathy, the Ford is family. Actually, I'll just put it in the chat. Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Clean up your database, reach out and track pipeline. One of the first things I did when this happened the first week was go into my database and realize that it was unhealthy. So I went in and really made it a purpose to get people's addresses or emails. And it was my challenge to get over the 50% mark, then over the 60, and every day I made it healthier and healthier. Steve, I obtained my real estate license in 2007. One thing I heard agents say time and time over again is that they had some of their best years during the recession. And look who's still here. And look who are the strongest agents are the people who went through that recession, who went through 9/11 and 2008. Okay, JD, you can go to the next slide, unless if somebody wants to unmute themselves and talk some more about that. We have about a half hour left, a little bit more than a half hour left. You can go to the next slide. We talked about the daily 10-4, so we can go past that. So I was just talking about keeping my database healthy. It said the goal for Spark is the database health should be, their overall score should be at least 50% or greater. Let's go high achievers.
By the way, just to point out, some of you who might not know it and who haven't entered your contacts into the database, into Command, down below in your reports, it will show you, as soon as you log on and you go into into the main screen, if you scroll down, it will tell you the health of your database. And as you put more addresses in, and that's a really big one now, the more than ever, you will see that health score go up, and you want to see that over 80%, in my opinion. So that's what Cassie's talking about. It's the actual health score in Command.
Yeah. Or Emily, whatever you want to refer to me as. Omar just pointed out that my name is Emily. Yes, that was the only link that would let me on when I tried signing back on. That is why I changed my name.
JD, when you're looking
Yes.
at the database, and one of the things that people can do right now when they're entering them in is that we have put, years worth of data into the database and put the purchase dates and set up the home anniversary, and then went through searching out birthdays, going back for people, and the greatest place to find birthdays and then be able to set them up on the birthday smart plan was just go to Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Search out each individual person, and then you get a ton of birthdays that way that you haven't had in the past.
Yep.
Just a thought for everybody. And just like if you're sitting at your computer, and instead of watching some rerun of another movie that you watched 3 times already, sit down and just go on and start looking for people on Facebook and updating your database and increase that health score. And it's amazing how, when you look at the contact, how that changes just by adding in certain items. When you add in home anniversary, when you add in the spouse, when you add in the birthday, and all those types of things. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, two things. You can go into the tax records if you know somebody, you have a friend, or they have a home, they own a home. You can easily go into the tax records and see, put the time in that they purchased their home. Let me ask you something real quick, Joe. How long did it take you to go through Facebook and or how long did it take your team to do that, to go through Facebook and put the birthdays in from Facebook into EH? What's that?
Not done yet. It's an ongoing process.
Mm-hmm. When did you start?
And then I also reached out to a person that does mortgages and said, hey, I know you had this information when you took their application. What can you give me on different people? And right now, what I do is I get all the birthdays, because when I go to a settlement for a buyer or seller, I always offer to go and photo the driver's licenses, so I'm getting their birthdays from there if I need to. It's just a matter of, it's all information that's out there, and you just have to search it out and put it in. So
an easy way to get the birthdays is when they fill out the form for domestic relations, their birthdays are on there. Going forward, if you just make a note to put that on the front of the file, or put it right in Command or whatever, you have them and don't have to look them up.
Well, we're going back and entering things in from 10 years ago, putting all of these contacts into Command.
One keynote, and I don't mean to interrupt or anything like that, Cassie. Cassie's so important. What she's talking about is contacts, and it's so important to put the more, and Joe's putting, and Maureen, you're all putting more information in. The more information we put in there, the smarter Kelly gets for you, for your business. And that's one of the most important things, because it can start being predictive of your clients' behaviors, and putting in social media connections as well. Putting, taking the time to get that person's social media information and put it into the social media, because that will connect, and that can see what that person's activity is on social media eventually. I don't know if that's activated. I have to double check that. But it will be able to track your clients and say, hey, Jim is ready to purchase, within the next 2 weeks. He's showing signs of that. And it knows Jim because you connected his social media to, you know, and you've inputted into your database. If you're not doing that, you're not taking advantage of what the cloud computing can offer you. Sorry, Cass.
Oh, no, I love it. I put in the chat bar a couple resources you can use because, Joe, I was doing the same thing. I was going between thatsthem.com, the tax records, past loops, and Facebook to try to compile as much information about my future clients and my past clients as I could.
What was that first one you said?
Thatsthem.com.
Dash, D-A-S-H?
That's THATS, them, THEM.com. It's a free service that you can use to search phone numbers, addresses, and names. When I first started out, that's how we would find expired numbers for free, because that was broke. So it's a free service you can use, and sometimes it's a little frustrating, but you could try it with the name or the address or just the name or just the phone number.
So the first one again, T-H.
Look in your chat bar.
I'm looking for it. Okay, I got it. Okay, I see it.
Okay. All right, so JD, do you want to share the screen again?
You got it, boss.
He just called me boss.
I work for you. I work for you. Gary Keller works for us, and I work for you. So
you're the man.
Got it on record. No.
I didn't hear that. I'm sorry. Nothing? Okay.
Oh, that Greg. I think Greg Eisenhart said that was recorded. I think, or he, at least he texted it. So you have proof now.
Yes, we need to play that on a loop with a video of JD just saying, you know, I'm the boss. All right. So why is it important to learn, internalize, and personalize scripts? I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I am one to have conversation, not scripts. Everything to me, it's just a conversation. And when you really, really know your scripts, switching from one script to another script it's nothing. It's just like breathing, right? Who are some script masters in here? Unmute yourself and tell us your thoughts. Pauline says scripts are really important to hurdle your objections. Okay, so I'm going to call someone out here.
Mary Pat said Mike I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Coperna?
Coperna?
Yeah, he says you should chime in. You should unmute yourself because Mary Pat just, you know, threw the gauntlet down for you. Where is he?
Mike is the script master.
Mike, I'm going to unmute you. You're unmuted, Mike.
Hey, I'm on 2 Zoom calls at once. I'm trying to listen. I got another one coming. I got 3
And how are you
kids
going to handle that objection?
and trying to do all that stuff. So I'm trying to listen in 2 ears and 3 Zooms. So yeah, scripts. You know, I practice scripts on a daily basis. You know, I'm pretty good at handling any objection. So what was the question? I'm sorry, JD. I apologize.
Cass, I think you asked the question.
Why were scripts so important to you in your business?
Why are scripts so important to me? Mastering scripts is just knowing there's always a problem. And those that solve the most problems usually make the most money. So I've kind of mastered that. So it's always just having a deeper conversation, digging deep. It's voice control, pattern interrupt, and being direct with people. So it's always the important thing. So it's always matching their motivation and tonality of things. So if people are like freaking out, you just slow your tone and all of a sudden they start matching your tone. So
Right.
that's just kind of what I've always been doing and trained with, and trained with some of the best coaches and the best realtors, around. So I've been pretty successful doing that.
Mike, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but let me ask you one more question. Do you feel that if you know your scripts, you can control the conversation and using purposeful language?
Yes, always. You know, it becomes, I think everybody is scripted and they just don't know it. But if you can just master the things, and it's always like a chess match. It's like, what is somebody going to say after they say this? You know what I mean? It's always like figuring out your next move. So yes, mastering those scripts and knowing what people are going to say. I mean, you get on a phone conversation, it's like, well, don't call me now because there's a pandemic going on. Okay, great. You know, I know you did want to sell your property at one point. At some point, this thing is going to end. And I was just reaching out for one, have you cut your expenses? Then you can open up the safeguard conversation. Hey, I was just reaching out to people like that. And I was just more curious of why your home didn't sell, because I'm looking at the property right now and the pictures look nice. What was it? And they're going to tell you, it's either the agent, it was priced improperly, they didn't do enough marketing. I have a solution to every one of their problems, you know, pain, you know. So that's kind of what it comes down to. You know, hey, you know, my contract was too long. Great. We have an easy exit listing program. We can let you out of the contract anytime. So, you know, hey, you know, the commissions were too high. Great. We have a menu of commission rates. So it's always, you know, I have scripts in place. It's always a solution to their problems. And I have that all the time. So even if when they're selling their houses, hey, you still selling your house for sale by owner? I have a smart seller program where you can list your house on your own and we could sell it at the same time. It's like killing two birds with one stone, the old saying. So they want to hear more about that. So that's kind of how everything is.
When I was in Austin, one of the longtime MAPS coaches did the class. It was really good. And he had an Academy Award that his grandfather had won for cinematography or something like that. And he said, when you think about these people that win the Academy Awards or any kind of awards like that, as much as they're good at what they do, they're good at their craft, but it all comes down to the scripts that they were handed.
Exactly, Maureen. I mean, Maureen's a high producing agent, but you know, everybody says, you know, why should you hire the Mike Caperna team? I can spit out 4 reasons, you know, and I have scripts sitting in front of me. It's like, we have an 89-point marketing campaign specifically designing your home to get home sold quickly and for top dollar. We have a performance guarantee. We'll sell your home in 59 days or less, or we'll sell it for free. We have a communication guarantee. We'll speak with you every single Tuesday of the week about the good, the bad, the ugly. If we don't, you have permission to fire us. We also have an easy
Mike, let me ask you a real quick question. I mean, I've got some questions here, but what is the script right now that you're finding most effective in this crisis? Cassie, I don't know if anybody knows, but Cassie froze, so she's reconnecting. She's having some technical issues, so I'm just going to ask you that question. What's right now in this crisis that's going on? What is the most effective script that you're finding when you're reaching out to people that you could share with people on this webinar that they could implement?
That's a great question. It varies from person to person. So like, you know, the other day we talked to somebody and they wanted to list their house right now. And, you know, obviously you can't meet with buyers and sellers. So I'm taking more information on that person. But if I'm having a conversation with you, JD, and you're like, hey, what do you call me now for? It's just, and it's just like, hey, look, you know, I understand things are going to change. You know, it's being sympathetic to their needs. You gotta adapt because everybody's going to react to this differently. Just like you said, hey, there's I think Cassie said there were 70% of houses or whatever that number was, as opposed to the 30% or whatever those numbers were. She just kind of flipped that script. So you're just kind of flipping the script of whatever that is. It's giving them what they need. So you have to really focus on what somebody is saying and then provide that solution. So the scripts are a little bit sympathetic to everybody's needs. So, I mean, there's no one script that I can tell you because every conversation is different. So if I'm having a conversation with you, JD, hey, JD, I just saw your house came off the market and expired. Hey, listen, my name's Mike. Hey, what do you call me for? Hey, listen, look.
Well, why don't we role play this, Mike? Why don't we role play this and give everybody a little quick demo, and I'll be the expired, and give me a call and we'll run it.
Ring.
Hello.
Hello, is this Mr. Lapita?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Mr. Lapita. Thanks for taking my call. This is Mike Caperna with Keller Williams. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good. How can I help you?
Hey, listen, I don't want to hold you up. I'm sure you're home with your family and everything else like that. You know, I'm a top producing agent in the area, and we saw that your home recently came off the market, and I know there's a lot of things going on in today's world. I was just kind of curious, did you take it off the market because of the recent pandemic, or is it just expired because it just didn't sell? That's all I'm looking for.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now. I mean, it came off the market. You know, my contract expired anyway. You know, but I'm not looking to list it right now, and I don't even know how you're really doing business or how anybody's doing business. I mean, everything's shut down. So
yeah, I don't blame you.
good.
You know, Mr. Lapita, I'm not looking to do business. I'm just looking to find out. I'm reaching out to people and having conversations. I'm just more curious to find out why your home didn't sell. That's all, because it looks like a nice house. I'm looking at the kitchen. It shows really nice. Did you do a lot of improvements on the kitchen?
Yeah, man. I mean, we spent, you know, like $20,000, you know, to revamp the kitchen, and, you know, but, you know, so I'm just, you know, we didn't get the price we wanted. And, you know, my agent said that, you know, the market wasn't as good as he thought it was. And so I'm just, we're just going to take it off. We're going to wait till the whole thing passes, and then maybe consider, you know, changing things around, you know, when we get out of the other side of this.
Yeah, I hear you. And it kind of makes sense. And I heard you say you didn't get the price that you wanted. Was it because, did you get an offer on the property, Mr. Lapita?
You know, we did, but, you know, it was such a low offer, man. It was ridiculous. I mean, you know, I don't know. I was just really frustrated by the whole process.
Yeah, I got you. And it sounds like you are frustrated. Maybe, you know, have you thought about, like, and I know you said after coming out of this, you were thinking about listing the house again. At that particular point, you know, I know the agent that you had, you said you weren't really happy with them, and, you know, you can't blame the agent. I'm sure they did everything they possibly could to get you top dollar, and they probably reached out to their sphere and made all their calls and their contacts and everything else. Sometimes it takes a different idea of marketing techniques and strategies and a different clientele and database to reach into. And that's kind of what we do. And I know you're located there in Westchester, Mr. Lapita. You know, when you do list it and you come out of this thing, what are you looking for in your next agent?
Well, one that can sell my home. You know, I mean, I want him to sell my home. I mean, you know, here's the reality is that, you know, if you really, you know, I signed the contract and I didn't hear from the guy for another, you know, 2 months. You know, I'm the one who actually called him and said, maybe we need to possibly reduce the price. You know, I mean, it was, you know, kind of frustrating. So, you know, let me ask you this. I mean, how are you selling homes in this market? I mean, you know, when this expired, my agent said that nothing's selling. Everything that real estate agents aren't allowed to do their job right now, and nothing's going on. Nobody's allowed to do anything right now. So how are you even on the phone talking to me?
Well, Mr. Lapita, it's a great question. So right now, you know, Governor Wolf has a stay at home, but we are connecting with our clients. We're preparing them, showing them market comps, showing where things are at. We're preparing contracts. We're doing virtual tours and virtual interviews to see if it makes sense. You know, we've done BPOs for banks, broker price opinions. So, you know, I can do a video tour of your house together. We could sit down, work out comps and things of that sort. But more importantly, whether it's me or somebody else, you want to hire a marketing specialist, and that's kind of what we do. We have an 89-point marketing campaign specifically designed in Westchester to get home so quickly and for top dollar. Now, I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to take your listing or anything else like that. But what I can do, Mr. Lapita, is send you information about me, my 89-point marketing campaign, a short series of videos called prepareforresults.com. And you can check that stuff out. All I'm looking for is if you do think about selling in the next, once this thing ends, I'm just looking for the opportunity to earn your business. Does that sound at least fair enough?
Yeah, that sounds fair. You know,
Cool.
I like the fact that you're on the phone calling me right now. My other agent, I couldn't even get a hold of him. You know, I mean, then when I did, he said everything was shut down. So I think, you know, I think you sound like a go-getter to me.
Well, Mr. Lapita, I am, and it's like, you know, we have a communication guarantee, and I know you said you didn't talk with your other agent. You know, we'll guarantee that we'll contact you every single week. Our job is to get home so quickly and for top dollar. And if I'm going to do a good job for you, you're going to refer me to your friends and your family and everything else. And again, I'm not saying I could sell your listing or anything else like that, but I love to have the opportunity to at least have a conversation with you. When things do open up, we could do a virtual tour or something like that. What is the best email address for me to send you my contact information now?
JD@jdlapetta.com.
Sounds good, Mr. Lapetta. Hey, the other thing is too, we're saving our clients a bunch of money. And I just recently switched over to our Safeguard insurance company we partner with Keller Williams. I'm going to send you out the contact information of the specialist that I use, and it's actually saving me $2,300 a year. So I'm just, and again, if we do business, great. If we don't, but here's an opportunity for you and your family to save a little bit of money during this time as well.
Sounds good. I could definitely do that.
Check out that email, and I'll tell you what, Mr. Lopetta, I'm going to contact you next week just to set up a virtual call. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds
Awesome.
wonderful. So
check it.
awesome, Mike. Great job, man. How was that for everybody?
Thank you so much.
Oh, Cassie's back. Awesome. Awesome.
I am really jealous of the people who get to end up in a breakout room with Mike.
So Cassie, do you want me to okay, so guys, if we're going to do a breakout room for scripts, okay, please accept the join. So anybody that's in hearing distance, I'm going to break everybody into groups. If you get into a group by yourself and there's nobody that joins it, just be patient. I'll get to you and I will put you into join. I will attempt to do 2 to 3. We might end up going 4. It should have put everybody into. I don't know why, but it is what it is. This new technology for us. So, Cassie, any words? How long are we going?
Let's go into the breakout session I know we have 44 minutes left, but let's do it for 15 minutes anyway. Those who can stay on the call and give us the results and also do the poll at the end, we really, really appreciate it because this is happening more and more. We want to do the best job we can for you. So your feedback is extremely important to us.
Please,
so
please do that. Like, I'm going to just say that real quick. We're going to break you off, but please stick around to at least do the poll. There's a survey at the end, and you can tell how wonderful you think Cassie is. So all right. So all right. So let me break everybody out into groups here. Open all rooms. Let's do this. All right. Let's go recreate all rooms. There you guys go. You should start going now. All right, so there's a Cassie, awesome. All right, let's see who I see here. Tony Ford, assigned to 2.
Hi, Cassie. I was in a room by myself, so I just came out of it.
Okay, JD will be, where did JD go? JD has control of that, so he's going to be finding
I was in room 8, but there was no one there but me, so I decided to come back here, see what was going on.
Yeah, I gotta find out where JD.
Hi, this is Sandra. I also was in break room 29 and was the only one there.
Okay, so let me find out where JD, he disappeared off the screen.
I'm I'm here.
Oh, you're there. Okay, so, one, two, three people went to their rooms and there was nobody there. So can we put these three in a room together?
Sure, I would love to see who we
Thanks,
got here.
guys, for being
Amanda,
so
Rita,
patient.
and Sandra. Let's see. How do we do that? New spotlight, make a host, allow. You know what? Let's see here. Sandra. Where are you, Sandra? I see you. I see you. I see you. I'm just trying to figure out how to put you in a room once you've pulled out of that room. So I'm just trying to figure that out here. Give me a second here. I honestly don't. I've never had anybody pull themselves out of a room before like this. So hide self spotlight. No. Okay. Breakout, close all rooms. Broadcast a message to all rooms. Cassie, you somehow are in room 6. I don't know how. Did you join room 6?
No.
Okay.
I did join room 8, but.
Oh, I see. You're room 8 right there. Let me put you in with Peggy.
I was room 29.
Room 9.
29.
So Rita, I just put you in with room 29.
Okay, so how do I get there?
You have to accept accept. It should pop up on your screen. You need to accept it and go into the room.
Okay, it hasn't popped up yet.
Well, let's try that again. Rita, what room?
I only have a clock in front of me.
Like, I went into breakout rooms at the bottom of the screen. Is that how we were supposed to enter the rooms?
No. You should get a little notification on the screen that pops up and is asking you to join the room.
Okay,
right.
I never got that either. I just clicked the breakout rooms at the bottom of my screen toolbar.
All right.
It's asking me to join breakout room 9. So
yes.
Should I?
Well, Megan Kurzai, is no longer in there. Let me put you in room. Hold on a second. Let me put you in with Mike Coperna, who was just on the phone. Who was just there. So let's see. Rita, move to breakout 12, and you should get a notification saying there. So there she goes. All right. I think a lot of people are bumping out. I can't put everybody in all these rooms. I'm keep on jumping people around as much best I can. Sign 2. 17.
Day 1, JD, it'll get better.
Well, it's the auto feature. It's auto selecting people and putting them in, and there's almost nothing that I can do to help that. And then I'll go to find room 21, and it's like Nadine is not, like, there's no room 21, even though she's in room 21. So, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
right,
I watched the video on this, and it seemed like it was pretty easy, but I guess glitches happen.
Well, there's so many people. It's
yeah,
it's a good problem.
Yeah, I think this is the largest one that we've done since it started.
Yeah, where we do these, meetups. Absolutely. 35.
I can't wait to use it when this is done with, though. I'm gonna implement the heck out of this. See, it's showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Wow, we only have 23 participants.
No, that's the ones that aren't in groups.
Oh, okay. Wow, I don't know. I'm trying to. Well, let's see. How much time do we have left?
7 minutes and 32 seconds.
All right. Sorry, guys, for all you that are on the call right now that are not participating. We did.
Hey, you can all unmute yourselves, and we can have a little mini mastermind and hear some scripts from you guys. I would like that.
Absolutely.
I mean, I was using one with the coaching agents of where they called and just asked if they needed anything and then educated them about the market. Did you know that our office has had 56 properties closed in the past 3 weeks? What is your plan to get your house sold after this if you're not wanting to list right now? And they had a lot of success with that.
I think it's a really good point. I mean, I think there's so many people right now that have not, that have literally just not taken advantage of these stats that are out there. I mean, how many people on the phone, how many people right now, let's see, are, that have actually looked at the statistics? I think you and I, Cassie, talked about this last week. How many people have actually looked at the statistics and seen what's going on and communicated that to their people and seeing that? I think you said to me, what, 150 expires came up just the other day, and just in one day, and there's so much opportunity. I just got Jim Wakefield asked me to reach out to him. Let me go into his break room. I'm going to leave for just a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so over 3 days in Poconos, we had over 150 houses expire, and only 3 agents were reaching out to them out of 48. So that was a big aha moment for me. Where is everybody? Why aren't you reaching out? What are your fears? And a lot of people said, well, they don't want to list right now. They're scared, which is fine. But why don't we be a support for them so when they are ready to list, we're the first people they think of?
Wish I could remember how Mike overcame that objection, because his script was smooth and flowed right through it, keeping the client comfortable, I think.
Yeah.
And hopeful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So that's important. I don't do well with scripts. Most of my lead gen is networking.
Okay.
So this is very helpful to me to hear the confident scripts, and it's given me hope to reach out to the Spirit, because this is the best time, like you said, at any time, just the care calls.
Yeah. What market center are you out of?
Bethlehem, Northampton County.
Okay. You've been in the business for a while?
16 years.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yes.
We have Jim Galligan. He spoke a little bit. I don't know if you know Jim.
No.
Okay. And our ALC members, we invite them all to come to script practice, because I have agents that have been in the business for 20, 30 years that never really use scripts. And now they're like, well, we want to know. And they're coming to script practice and learning new scripts because they know they need them.
And that's something I had never done. Like I said, most of my lead gen is networking face-to-face with people. The phone scares me.
Yeah, I was saying in the beginning, I've been a bartender for 15 years. So mine is also networking and using my sphere. So in the beginning, I didn't really go to scripts. I said, I don't need them, what am I going to use them for? I don't cold call. But I ended up using them. There's a unique value proposition script in our book, and it talks about the difference of Keller Williams and other brokerages. And I was on a listing appointment with a gentleman who owned a house in Philly, and he was a businessman. And I'll never forget it. I was sitting at his kitchen table, and he started talking about the other realtor who was listing his house in Philly was from a different brokerage, and the type of models they had and how they did business. And I said, well, do you want to know about Keller Williams models? And I went into that unique value proposition about how we own our listings and how we have a financial, JD, you know that script? Can you grab that for me? I have kids and I gotta go.
Which one? What did she? I'm sorry. I was handling the rooms.
Owning our listings when you're scripting.
So, the owning the listing, yeah. Basically, in regards to we own our listings. That Keller Williams is different than every other single company out there. The reason why Keller Williams is different than every single company out there is because we own our listings. Now, what do I mean by that? See, at Keller Williams, we have a policy called My Listings, My Leads. As the owner of the listing, I know everything yeah, more than anything, about your property than any other real estate agent, aside from yourself. Now, at other companies, what happens is they have a thing called floor time. And when people call up the phone and they call and they ask information about that property, you and I both know that buyers want information now, right? They don't want it 2 days from now. They don't even want it 10 minutes from now. They want it now, right away. And see, at Keller Williams, when those buyers call, they get funneled to me directly. Okay, the buck stops here. At other companies, there's a person sitting there who is a real estate agent, and that's called floor time, and that's their business model. And that person is there to get leads. All right. Now, here's the thing. That person is, here's the thing. They bring a buyer in. Are they going to know about your property? They're going to know all the information, all the details. Are they going to be really motivated to sell that property? Not as much as I am. Okay. And the reality is what if that person has their own listings? Is it possible that a real estate agent who's sitting there to get free business from their company has their own real estate and own homes to sell? Now, ethically, yeah, they're going to bring that person most likely to your home. But guess what? They have to say, hey, you know what? I've got some other homes to take a look for you to look at. See, at Keller Williams, we own our business. All the business that we generate comes directly to me and directly to us. And that's what sets Keller Williams apart from every other real estate company out there. So here's the thing. If you're interviewing other people, I think that's absolutely wonderful. However, do you want to go where, all the business is funneled to one person? Or do you want to go to, compete with somebody has other people within their company who are competing against you?
That's great. Yeah, I haven't heard that script before. That is absolutely monumental, actually.
The value proposition script, is that the one you continue to go over?
Yeah, I'm hoping it was, because I was on mute and I didn't hear exactly what you said. So I was handling the rooms because some people were bumped out of rooms again.
Oh, he did owning the listing. I think you were going with, and that's what he went through. And I thought it was great.
It is. It's a really great one. And it works for so many different levels. Like when we have a new agent come in, it's one of the first scripts I have them read. Number one, because they're learning the difference. Especially if they didn't come from another brokerage, they're learning the difference between Keller Williams and maybe ABC Realty down the road. And I mean, I've been in the business for almost 4 years and I've used that script more than once. All right, turn that off. So everybody's gonna start coming back now.
Yeah. All right, just sent the notification to them. So they're got 43 seconds till everybody's back in.
All right, and then you're just going to put up the poll.
Yep.
And that'll be that.
So.
Thank you guys for being so patient with the rooms and.
We're gonna have to lower that 1 minute down to like 30 seconds or 20 seconds. Here we are. Let's see. Countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. As we start populating again. Boom.
Here they all come.
All right. Sweet.
I gotta say, it's fun watching all your heads pop back in.
How about it? All right. So, Cass, if you want to leave some thoughts, and I've got a poll that if you guys could just take a few minutes, I'm just going to touch on this, and I'll let Cassie have the last statement. There's a poll. It's just 10 questions. If you could I'm going to leave this on. When you're done, you can leave the meeting, and it won't do anything. Just leave the meeting once you're done with the poll. We'd appreciate it if you fill it out. And that's it. It's 10 questions, and I would appreciate it. I'm just going to put it up as soon as Cass is done. And then that's it, guys. I hope you have a good time. Remember, every session builds upon the other. And I might have just stolen Cassie's theme there. But we're going to really drill down over the next month and really get really purposeful. All the classes are taught by top coaches, and we're going to have a lot of top producers as well take this. And so I think we have a tremendous amount of opportunity to have a lot of information. So I'm done. Cassie, take it away.
My last thing I want to say is one, thank you guys all for coming, and those of you who participated and gave us your greatness, thank you so much for that. The other thing I want to leave you guys with is take the opportunity. It's your choice whether you're going to succeed or where you're going to stay where you're at. It's your choice. So let's do this. Let's really hammer down and put your feet back on the pavement and do fantastic things. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning. Who's teaching tomorrow, JD?
Oh, geez. I can't see it on my screen because I still have your PowerPoint up.
Well, it won't be me, but I will see you guys anyway.
Who is it? Somebody talk?
No, it's Franco. I'm new here. I just want to say thanks, guys, for everything. I really appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thanks
Awesome.
for coming, Franco.
Don't
See you
forget.
tomorrow.
Great. Let me see. Actually, I can pull it up here. Let me just see who's teaching tomorrow. Calendar. Let's see. Jason Driscoll. Awesome. Jason is a coach, and he's been around for quite a while and is phenomenal. So definitely, we're going to be going over tomorrow. Lead gen is the core of your business, and powerful language gets results. So those are the two topics for tomorrow. And Jason Driscoll is a phenomenal coach. So, all right, I'm going to leave this poll up for 15 minutes. And if you guys get a chance, please fill it out. And that's pretty much it. Cass, I think you froze again.
Thank you.
Oh, no, there you are. All right, guys, take care. All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Thanks so much.
Thank
Be
you.
safe, be well.
You too, Robert.
Doesn't seem to let you submit.
You just need to fill out the buttons, and it'll fill out the poll for you. It'll just fill it out. You don't have to submit.
Okay, thank you.
As far as I know, you just hit the buttons,
Uh-huh.
and then you can hit the end meeting, and you're good, or leave meeting, and you're good.
Okay, thank you very much.
You got it. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
Actually,
You're very
my
welcome.
submit button turned blue once I filled in all the questions, and then I
Oh,
was
you
able to
did.
hit submit.
Oh,
Yes.
maybe see. There we go. So this is new
If
for
you're
me.
missing
Even.
one, yeah, if you're missing one, it probably won't. It was gray until I hit the last answer, and then it would let me submit.
Oh well, I guess we missed one. Darn. Thanks, Diane.
Sure. Have a great day, JD.
You as well. You as well.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, so it says 33 of 33 voted. Let's see. I'm just gonna check real quick here because there's still a bunch of people here. Megan, are you still in here? John, Nathan, Connie, Shane, Joe. All right, so let me just close this up then. All right. So what we're going to do is, Cass, I think I could remove everybody else automatically. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to end the meeting because the poll is done. It says 33 of 33 voted. So I'm going to end the poll, and then we'll just end the meeting, and then we'll just, connect right after this. Usha, do you want me to, I can also send you an invite so we can just do a real quick Zoom right after this. Do you want to do a Zoom or a phone call?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do a Zoom.
All right.
Yeah,
so
anybody else who can as well.
Okay.
If you can get any of the PCs if they're available. or not.
I don't know whether you can hear me or not. This is Joe Hendel.
Hey, Joe. Yep,
Hey.
Joe, I can hear you. We're just about to end the meeting. What's up?
Yeah, I can't leave the meeting. I've tried 3 times and I keep hearing your voices.
That's
That's
awesome.
No offense.
You're here forever.
We love you, Joe.
We did it purposely, man. You don't know it, but you're not able to get up out of your chair. You just don't realize it yet. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm standing. I forgot and I stood. Uh-oh. All right.
We love you, Joe.
All right. Take care, Joe. I'll close it out for you so you don't have to worry about it. I'll end it right now. Take care, guys.
Thank you.